And now to the rest of our stories. Chairman of the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State, Desmond Akawa, has resigned. Akawa's resignation followed his appointment as Federal Commissioner representing the state at the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. His resignation was contained in a letter to the acting PDP National Chairman, Umar Damagum. Akawa expressed gratitude to the PDP for the opportunity to lead and President Bola Tinubu for the appointment. He expressed gratitude for the opportunity to have steered the ship of the party at the state
which is liable to some offenses. Therefore, for somebody who currently one of the factional speakers in the House of Assembly, one should expect that Matis Abehule should understand these processes and what it means for such acts. They were
on Friday, inaugurated members of the national headquarters of the APC in Abuja had the party's national chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, Vice Chairman for the South-South, Victor Gyadam, and members of the NWC in attendance. The event took place 2 days after the APC-NWC dissolved the former state exco. The dissolution was announced at the party secretariat by the National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka, on Wednesday. Moka disclosed that Chief Tony Okocha was chosen as Chairman Kenga, Stephen Abolo, Sylvester Vaden, Tanibo Karibi, Dan Jumbo, and Miss Darling Amadi. Addressing the newly sworn-in officers after the oath taking, Ganduje asked them to prepare themselves for the arduous task of reconciling factions and members who had left the party. The APC national chairman also charged them to use the 6-month duration to create an enabling environment for the Congress that will usher in leaderships at all levels. Nigeria has attained 78% of the 80% national target for the human papillomavirus vaccination set for the pilot states where the vaccine was rolled out. Dr. Joseph Orang, the immunization officer at Rivers State Primary Health Care Management Board, disclosed this in Port Harcourt during a 2-day media dialogue of HPV vaccines in Nigeria. According to him, the data is as of November 16, some weeks after the first phase of the vaccine rollout on October 24th. The immunization officer said the data was for Jigawa, Kano, Lagos, Nasarawa, Ogun, Oshun, Taraba, and the Federal protect girls aged 9 to 14 against cervical cancer and related diseases. Orang said Taraba had the highest vaccination rate of 98%, while Lagos had the lowest rate at 31%. He described HPV as a double-stranded DNA virus that could cause benign diseases, precancerous lesions, and invasive malignancies. Court of Appeal has affirmed the election of Right Honorable Sheriff Oberwari as Governor of Delta State. Oberwari, flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party, was declared winner of the March 18, 2023 Delta governorship election by the Independent National Electoral Commission after he secured 360,234 votes to defeat Obaisi Ovie Omo Agege of the All Progressive Congress, who trailed Mr. Sonny Are, copies of which were made available to journalists in Warri, Delta State. The statement maintained that Omo Agege firmly believes that justice is yet to be given to the people of Delta State who voted for him and the APC. Enugu State Capital Territory Development Authority has given an order to the operators of the new artisan cattle market to restructure the market into a non-residential market as obtained in every other market in the state and world over. The state government agency said that the realignment became necessary following measures it has mapped out to combat insecurities in the state. Addressing leaders of the market, Chairman of ECTDA, Dr. Uche Anaya, said that the measure became expedient in order to forestall the likely infiltration of criminals dislodged from the Abia State cattle market at Lokpanta. Anaya insisted that it was necessary to agree on a time the market must open for business each morning and time for its closure, after which every trader vacate the market for the next business day. Responding, the chairman of the new artisan market, Danladi Abubakar, raised the issue of the peculiarity of livestock markets, disclosing that the present location of the market is a temporal place. Acting Commissioner of the Police in Lagos State, DCP Wahid Ayilara, has directed all area commanders and divisional police officers in the state to sustain optimum security within their respective domains. This is contained in a statement by the command spokesperson, SP Benjamin Hundeyin, in Lagos on Friday. Aguilera, according to the statement, gave the directive while having a strategic meeting with the officer to review the development of continuous monitoring and evaluation of the deployed strategies as required. Court of Appeal in a 2-1 judgment on Friday affirmed Dapo Abiodun as the duly elected governor of Ogun State in the March 18 poll. The State and National Assembly Appeal Court in the majority judgment delivered by Justice Joseph Ike dismissed the appeal by candidates of the People's Democratic Party Ladi Adebutu in the state governorship poll. But the minority judgment delivered by Justice Jane Inyang upheld the appeal and ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to conduct a fresh election in the state within 90 days. Vice-Chancellor of the University of Benin, Professor Lilian Salami, on Friday said 14,254 students have bagged first degree with 178 bagging first class, while one got distinction. She stated this at the 48th Convocation and 53rd Founders' Day ceremonies of the university for the award of first degrees, diplomas, and certificates to the 2020-2021 graduates. In his address of welcome, the Chancellor, University of Benin, Professor James Ayatse, said the institution has continued to make giant strides in providing quality education for the teeming populace and has demonstrated commitment to the provision of modern facilities for the training of first-class products who are responsive to the needs of the society. Ayatse extolled President Bola Tinubu, the Oba of Benin, and the Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, for the roles they have played to ensure the university witnessed peace and tremendous advancement. Court of Appeal in Abuja has upheld the March 18 election of Nasir Idris as the lawfully elected governor of Kebbi State. The court, in a judgment delivered on Friday evening, dismissed the appeal brought before it by the People's Democratic Party and its governorship candidate, General Aminu Bande, for lacking in merit. In a unanimous judgment delivered by Justice Ndukwe Anyanwu, the appellate court resolved all the 5 issues formulated for determination in favor of the governor and against the PDP. Justice Anyanwu held that the allegations of forgery of testimonial brought against the deputy governor of the state, Abubakar Umar Tafida, was not established as required by law. He also held that the issues of non-compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act in the conduct of the election could not stand because the appellants failed to prove how the allegations substantially affected the election. Justice Anyanwu subsequently affirmed the judgment of the Kebbi State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which had earlier dismissed the petition of PDP and affirmed the election of the governor. Gombe State Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to bolstering President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda on food security and other federal government initiatives. The governor, who stated this while receiving in audience the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Muhammadu Bello Goronyo, at the government house, assured of Gombe State's synergy with the federal government towards achieving self-sufficiency in food production by leveraging available water and land resources. Governor Inuwa said the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu is compatible with his administration's development policies as encapsulated in the 10-year development plan of the state. He urged the federal government to do more in supporting the state to harness its water potential. Speaking earlier, the minister appealed to the governor to support the federal government's target of boosting crop production by increasing available cultivable lands along the river basins. University of Ilorin says its registration for the 2023-24 post-UTME screening exercise, which started on November 23rd, will end on December 3rd. Mansour Alfanla, the registrar of the university, said in a press statement on Friday that the institution had invited all candidates who had applied for admission into the university to the post-UTME screening. He noted that applicants for the screening must have chosen the university as first choice, either at UTME or direct entry level. The registrar called on prospective candidates to visit the university website for details of the procedure for the post-UTME screening exercise. He said to be eligible, UTME candidates must have scored at least 180 in the UTME examination conducted by the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. He warned candidates against using any other link, adding that inquiries should be directed to pre-admission. Federal Road Safety Corps has cautioned passengers against embarking on night journeys during festivities due to their negative consequences. The FRSC Sector Commander in Katsina State, Mr. Ibrahim Mayaki Bazama, gave the warning in an interview with newsmen on Friday in Katsina. Mayaki Bazama further said that the command has standby rescue teams ready for operation in case of any eventuality. He said that the teams were at the 5 units under the command located at Fontwa, Daura, Koza, Malumfashi, and Kankia. The sector commander further urged motorists to adhere to traffic rules and regulations pointing out that it is the only leaving that celebrate. Court of Appeal Abuja Division has sacked the Speaker of the Bauchi State House of Assembly, Abubakar Suleiman, from his seat as the member representing Ningi Central Constituency in Ningi Local Government Area of Bauchi State. The Appellate Court, in its judgment on Friday, ordered for a rerun in 10 polling units in the constituency. Recall that Suleiman is the immediate past chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures of Nigeria, with the commencement of dry season farming scheduled for November 25, 2023. The FG disclosed this in a statement released by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security on Friday. The statement disclosed that the Minister of Agriculture, Abubakar Kyari, will lead the launch ceremony in Jigawa State. It noted that the event will not only mark the commencement of dry season farming, but also involve the distribution of crucial resources such as seedlings, herbicides, pesticides, and more. The scope of the dry season farming initiative is national, encompassing all 36 states of the country and the Federal Capital Territory. The statement emphasized the government's commitment to supporting farmers by subsidizing essential agricultural inputs by half. Court of Appeal in Abuja has affirmed the election of Uba Sani of the All Progressive Congress as the governor of Kaduna State. Delivering the judgment on Friday, a three-member panel of the Appellate Court held that the tribunal acted in error when it depended on inadmissible evidence to order the conduct of supplementary polls in 22 polling units of 4 local government areas where the exercise was deemed inconclusive. The court stated that a key witness called by the People's Democratic Party during the tribunal hearing merely gave hearsay evidence as he was not present when the malpractice he alleged happened. The appeal court held that the allegations of deduction of votes, stuffing of ballot boxes, and mutilation of sensitive electoral materials made by the said witness were born out of hearsay. The court also held that the tribunal was right in dismissing the petition of the PDP and Isa Ashiru because the petitioners had abandoned their petition for their failure to apply for the issuance of a pre-hearing information sheet after close of pleading as required by paragraph 18 of the first schedule to the Electoral Act 2022. Meanwhile, Kano State Police Command has warned members of the New Nigeria People's Party and the All Progressives Congress in the state against Saturday's planned protests, saying it will deal ruthlessly with anyone that violated the order. The warning was contained in a statement on Friday by the command's public relations officer, SP Abdullahi Haruna, on behalf of the State Commissioner of Police, Hassani Gumel, and made available to newsmen. Both the NNPP and the APC were said to have mobilized their supporters to organize protests on Saturday to express their views on the recent ruling of the appeal court in Abuja, which declared a controversial judgment on the governorship election judgment. However, the decision on both parties since the announcement has created apprehension in the minds of residents of the state on the premise that such protests scheduled for the same day may cause untold hardship to the teeming masses of the state. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has expressed shock over the 8.9 billion naira monthly salaries of FCT administration staff. Wike disclosed that he would, despite resistance, embark on staff auditing to confirm the figure. The minister, who spoke during a live broadcast in his office, also said FCTA has 38,000 staff. Wike also disclosed that the issue of insecurity in the territory will be tackled without fear or favor. He said President Bola Tinubu would commission several projects within the FCT in the shortest possible time. Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has declared that he would not contest against President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 presidential election. Wike reiterated his commitment to the success of the Tinubu administration, even as he explained that the quest for justice was the key reason he and the G5 group of governors supported the presidential ambition of Tinubu. According to the minister, good character should never be compromised on the altar of politics. Wike spoke during a live broadcast in his office with selected journalists. He pointed out that having worked for the emergence of Tinubu as president and having made minister of FCT, nothing would make him contest against the president in 2027. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. Honourables, you human It's too late to withhold a friendship. So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State says National Economic Council recommended the establishment of the National Flood Management Council to effectively coordinate response and mitigate flood disasters in the country. The governor said this while briefing State House correspondents at the end of the 137th NEC meeting presided over by Vice President Kashim Shettima. An announcement was also made by the National Economic Council regarding plans to allocate a minimum of $1.52 billion in donor funds to 36 special agro-industrial processing zones throughout the country.
Associated with this, the Council resolved and directed that the coordinating Minister of the Economy and the Honorable Minister of Finance, Oluwale Edun, and the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, my humble self, work to chart a roadmap that can see us adopting both the national catastrophic insurance and supporting states in the provision of insurance to small-scale holder participants in our agricultural space.
This is a cross-cutting initiative and platform to attract private sector investment to add value to our agro on each zone, that is for each state.
Federal Housing Authority says it is challenged to do more after the speeches delivered by experts and listed expectations of its predecessors of the past administration who gave birth to FHA. Director General of the Federal Housing Authority, Senator Benga Ashafa, stated this while presenting the communique of 50th anniversary celebration marked on the 23rd November 2023.
The Honorable Minister, Housing and Urban Development, told us FHA, the performance that Nigerians expect is still yet to be achieved. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? On behalf of everybody has said who work for FHA, we know that we have not gotten there. We will be moving there. Right or wrong or yes? Have you accepted that we will be moving there? Are you going to have a different mindset from this is the way we used to do it?
FHA boss for the
Suffer. If we regularize, we add penalty so as to tell others, don't do it. If he's ready to do it and is ready to put in his papers, and the papers are certified in line with the building code and everything, he or she gets his own approval and he starts building and we start monitoring. That is FHA's model. So it's a long way, but we have very, very short time.
Federal Ministry of Women Affairs has briefed the media of its activities in commemoration of 16 days of activism to end violence against girls and women 2023 with the theme Unite, Invest and to Prevent Women and Girls. The Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy, said there is no more time for women to be violated and used like slaves, advising women to be disciplined as well as teaching children to live well.
This is no more time for women to be violated. This is no more time for women to be used anyhow like slaves. But in as much as we are putting up this fight to make sure we end this, I equally talk to the women because charity begins at home. You have to help yourself before somebody can help you. If we don't know your plight, how do we come in? If we don't teach our children how to report their plights, how do you even know that that child has been molested or has been maltreated? So some of us are equally lacking in this aspect. And I want you to know that if your child, for instance, is molested, we're not only going to sue the person that molested your child, we will equally sue you for negligence, because it is your duty to look down and watch that child and know when her expressions, her moods are changing, and talk to the child. And if for any reason it happens in school, both the mother and the teacher will be joined in the suit for negligence. We have to start looking out for our children like the right way it's supposed to be, not to treat the children as if they are dogs and animals that they don't belong to anybody. Now I've changed the point where if you want to adopt a child from Nigeria, we have to know you very well. If you're taking that child overseas, I have to take your passport that shows you're a citizen of that place. And when you're putting the child in school, you have to report to us where the child is. At every moment, we must know where our children are.
She said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renew Hope agenda is based on women and children, and therefore women and children are covered.
This is no more time with the president that we have, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who all of us know that his Renewed Hope agenda is based mainly on women and children. And we are over 70% in the population of this country. So no more for anybody to maltreat a child or maltreat a woman and get away with it, or for any hospital to abandon a victim of emergency and that person dies. Whoever is on duty on that day will be sued to court by this ministry as long as I am here.
Uju added that Nigeria needs to be fixed by Nigerians rather than leaving it in the hands of foreigners who are donors.
If we all keep quiet and just hope on sending our children abroad, who fixes our country? Nobody will do it for you. This country has to be fixed by us. That is one of the reasons we pleaded with the donors. I thank UN, they're doing a great job, but we are Oliver Twist. We want it better done. We want it better done. Do it like us. They are doing it like them. We want it done like us. Well, we don't believe in a lot of advocacies and meetings. We believe in action. If you want to help a Nigerian child, empower her. If she's above 18, empower her, give her a reason to live. And you will see that child cannot enter depression. We don't enter depression as easily as the white people because we have a lot on our minds. So help that child, you've done your bit, and you will see within a year or two how that child will progress. So I'm still pleading with them like I always do, to look into the matter as they have.
World, despite many countries passing laws to combat violence against women, weak enforcement and discriminatory social norms remain significant problems. We are estimating that globally a staggering 736 million women, so that's almost 1 in 3 women around the globe, have been subjected to physical and or sexual intimate partner violence. We've already heard from our He for She anchor about the theme for this year, Unite, Invest, to prevent violence against women and girls, and that's significant as it focuses on investment and financing of strategies and programs that will help prevent violence against women and girls happening in the first place. We have plenty of evidence from around the world that prevention works. What works, for example, is to invest into transforming social norms, addressing unequal gender power relations, strengthening essential services for survivors.
To the effective implementation of the 2021 to 2025, especially focusing on the value proposition to enhance civil servants' welfare and well-being for high-impact performance. Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged the economic community of West African states to integrate regionally. He made the call during the commencement of the ECOWAS Parliament's second ordinary session in Abuja 2023. The Nigerian president, represented by Deputy Senate President Jibrin Barau, stated that regional cooperation is critical for Africa. He expressed hope that the session's talk will. He added that the European Economic Community had achieved a common currency for its member countries, kept peace, and eliminated passport control within the Schengen area. The session will also refineries are expected to be fully operational by that time. It also projected that the national oil firm would grow its revenue to 4.5 trillion naira at the end of 2023, adding that the rehabilitation of Port Harcourt refining
not come to fruition. For whatever it is, let us give these ones the benefit of that. They are saying January.
As it seeks to expand free trade across the region. EAC Chair, Burundian President Evariste Ndayishimiye, stated this at a summit of the group in Tanzania. Somalia, whose president Hassan Sheikh Mohamud was at the summit, joined Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Rwanda. News. Wunmi, wife of late singer Mohbad, has noted that the DNA test demanded by his father-in-law, popular Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo, stated this during an Instagram live session on her page. Actress Tonto Dike and singer Bella Shmurda had called on the police to release Mohbad's body for a befitting burial, saying his autopsy result was taking time. Reacting to this, Mohbad's father, who had demanded for a DNA test to be conducted in his presence, warned that nobody should collect his son's body without authorization, stressing that he wants justice. Responding to him, Iyabo Ojo revealed her private phone conversation with Wunmi. According to Iyabo, Wunmi clarified that her father-in-law's lawyers are yet to officially contact her and her lawyers for the test. The test must also be conducted in Nigeria as well as abroad. Popular chef Hilda Bassi has joined the Ghanaian jollof and Nigerian jollof debate. Bassi said Ghanaian jollof has no flavor and that Nigerian jollof is better. The former Guinness World Record holder said she has tasted both Ghanaian and Nigerian jollof and can confirm the Nigerian jollof is the best. Speaking in the latest episode of the 90s Baby Show, Hilda said Nigerian jollof is actually better than Ghanaian jollof. Recall that Hilda Bassi defeated Ghana's Leslie Komodzie to win the jollof face-off competition in 2021. She received $5,000 prize money for the feat. For nearly 2 decades, Flavour has dazzled listeners with his impressive brand of new high-life music, which has rocketed him to a mainstream international success, and Mercy is Flavour's 8th album, coming 3 years after his 7th album, Flavour of Africa, was released in 2020. And now sport news. Nigeria defender Olisa Ndah has won Orlando Pirates Player of the Month for October. The Buccaneers made the announcement on their official X handle. Ndah made 4 appearances for the South African Premier League side in the month. Pirates recorded 2 wins and 2 draws from the 4 games. The 25-year-old has featured 5 times for club this season. Pirates are currently 7th on the table with 15 games on Saturday. Mikel Arteta has backed his former club Everton to fight against anything after a 10-point deduction